I'm so ready. Hey! It's Romania Black. I am so freaking ready for episode 6 of Blue Lock. Oh my god! Yeah, let me adjust a couple things here. Last episode was amazing. Last episode was everything I wanted. Last episode was so good, so much fun. I was living. I don't think I've been that excited for a reaction in quite some time. And it was warranted because it was so much fun. And hopefully episode 6 will be as well today. But we have a lot of comments to get through and things to go over. So y'all have to excuse me. This intro is going to take a little hot second. So let me work through all of this, shall we? I did have a couple things I wanted to show you all images of that were shared in the Discord. One, Wim is our amazing moderator for Blue Lock, so thank you, Wim, for being here for us. They have been going through, and if there were comments that had spoilers in them, but there were parts of said comment that they thought I should read, they're like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and give you this portion of the comment. You just can't read anything else with it. And I was like, okay, that seems fair. So they had a comment from Kai7104 that wanted to talk about a couple things. And so I wanted to go ahead and read it. I haven't read it since then. They just pointed this out, so I wanted to go ahead and start off with it. I usually don't comment, even though I have been watching your channel for quite a few years. Thank you. But I promise it's only because I have a big mouth. Oh, have you seen this? Have you witnessed this week to week? This mouth is huge. Anyway, I'm glad you're showing your appreciation for Hiyori. Hiyori's so good. I love him. I'm hoping he makes the reserves. I really am. The Kisei Rio and Miyuki Yuki comparison is so real. Rin didn't stand a chance against the sports glasses in that one play. But it's really impossible to hate Ryusei. He's so funny and his personality is just so fun overall. I agree. Him yelling at Igaguri is even funnier when you remember they were teammates in the second selection. So maybe or may have been a recurring thing. Yeah, I think so too. And that additional time killed me. Rin was more mad over Isagi being mischaracterized than himself. I love how the series does the shipping for us. We don't have to do a thing. No, I love, we were talking in the Discord about how Crunchyroll and some of the streaming services, the titles that their marketing team is giving some of the Blue Lock pages. I found an article online and it just opened up on my news feed and it was like, is this even soccer anymore? I was like, good. But yeah, I do definitely think that we're going to talk about the Kisei and Miyuki comparison. We talked about them a little bit last episode, but still. Then it was shared by Wim, the birthdays of some of our characters who are third years. So Oliver Anki is 19. He looks 27, but okay, 19. I interact with students that are 18 to 20 a lot. He looks a little bit older than that, but that's fine. We'll go with it. We'll say that's correct. But yeah, so he's not in high school anymore. He has graduated. He's 19. He's just under 20. He's 20 years old. He's also a Cancer, which might explain why he gets along with Sai. We'll talk about him in a second. Kinyu, his birthday is the end of, he's an April Taurus. So he's a Taurus. I'm a Taurus as well. Although, just like how they say, I'm so glad, there's a woman named Kelsey on the Discord who's a Capricorn. And they said that there is a difference between January Capricorns and December Capricorns. I need to go tell her after I'm done recording this. But one of my students in one of my classes, they are a Capricorn. And the other day I was saying, well, you know, I've heard that there's a difference between December and January Capricorns. And she goes, yes, absolutely there is. And I was like, oh, so I'm a May Taurus. So is there a difference between May Tauruses and April Tauruses? I like to think so too. So I think that's hilarious, but I'm not surprised Kinyu's a Taurus. And Nagi is a Taurus too, and usually Tauruses get along well together, or they butt heads, one of the two, and they seem to get along well together. So it's kind of like my brother and I are both Tauruses. Sometimes we butt heads, but then we get along, so it's fine. Then Tobito is a Leo. Of course Tobito is a Leo. That makes total sense. And he is a third year as well. His birthday's in August. His birthday is not too far away from Kagami's, from Kuroko's basketball, so that's fun. Ada is a Sagittarius. Also makes much sense. I know a lot of Sagittariuses, and that makes sense too. Ryusei is a Cancer. His birthday is July 7th, 7-7. Of course it is. Yeah, so him being a Cancer. And then Shudo, or Sendo, is a Libra. Effing Libras, along with Atoshi, which of course we know that his birthday is 10-10, right? And then I think, isn't Rin's like 8-8 or something like that too? Isn't that the case? or was he 1111? We'll go back to that. I'm sure y'all will comment about it. But what got me was that Truck shared this image as soon as that was posted saying that Libras and Cancers have the highest romantic compatibility. And I was like, of course they do. Which would go for both Ryusei and Sai, but also Sindo and Ryusei. So the scales are balanced with Sai and Sindo on one end, and Ryusei's in the middle holding the scales with his teeth. I love it. I love it so much. So thank you for those. I really appreciate that. Then speaking of comments, apparently, according to many of you, Ryusei and Sai have the same voice actors as Gojo and Geto from Jujutsu Kaisen. And Anne also pointed out that Rin and Sai have the same voice actors as Tsukishima brothers from Haikyuu, and I find that amazing. I'm in love with it. It's amazing. It's great. We'll talk about voice actors here in a second. To go with the comment from the commenter earlier, Algumalgum adds that Reo could copy like Kisei and Kuroko's basketball, but also he could possibly use those moves against others based on their strengths and weaknesses, which I think is something that goes a little bit beyond Kisei's and Kuroko's basketball and is a really fair point. So if Reo makes the reserves, which I hope he does, he could possibly be able to copy moves and use them in tandem or coordination compared to someone's strength and weakness, which I think is a pretty awesome advantage you would have if you were able to do so. So that would be a great thing too. Wim notes that Yuki's shot in episode 4 was affected by gravity, which could be tied to like Nagi's space theme and his little like black hole thing. Also, the rhinoceros beetle is the strongest animal on Earth. Relative to its body size, it can lift objects 850 times their own weight. So Nagi was actually complimenting Isagi there, but Rin was like, I can't put a rhinoceros beetle in my mouth, so it's not gonna work. And then Alexander Q says that episode 4, Nagi almost called Yuki boss, like he does with Reo, but he stopped. And that's when Yuki said he could just call him Yuki instead. So the shipping is real, y'all. The OTPs are out. They are ready. They are getting weaponized. It's amazing. Geen also suggests that Oliver's voice actor, well, doesn't suggest, says that their voice actor is the same as Rengoku from Demon Slayer, and the manager from the U20 team, his voice actor is the same as Muzan, which that is just some really, really coincidental classic VA work right there. I love that. Wim also points out that, you know, in their confrontation, Sai is kind of dressed like a priest. Ryusei is dressed like seems like a devil with his straitjacket and muzzle. Coincidence? I think not. Also, I do agree with this. They noted how Oliver kind of looks like Bachira's uncle with the two-toned hair. The underside with the different hair color made me think that he was like Bachira. He also, I agree with Wim, gives off a Chris vibe from Ace of the Diamond. I so agree with the Chris vibe. I'm excited to see where that goes further. I want to see more Oliver Aiku. I need more in my life. And then finally, Wim told me, and I'm sorry this intro is so long, Wim told me that I could skip the OP still, but I can watch the ED after this episode, and I can look at the after credits scene from the movie. So we're gonna look at that today. So I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, I'm just so excited to dive in to episode 6. I hope you all are as well, but we're not gonna waste any more time. We are gonna look at episode 6 of Blue Lock, or episode 30 altogether. And we're going to do that here as soon as I can get this undone. Oh no, get this undone. How dare this? We're going to be looking at episode 30 / season 2, episode 6 of Blue Lock. And we are going to do that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. It was going to drive me crazy if I didn't untangle this headphone. It would probably like pop out and that'd be annoying. Nobody wants that. I know. All right. My dogs have 8, so they should be fine. Oh yes. Oh, Tinsai-shan. Of course. Oh, what are you, Reiner? Hi, Aiku. Make it quick. I only like it quick. Like, his voice is so deep. You're +1! Ah! Oh, did they? Well, get him in gear. Oh. Oh, he's like, no, he's our star player. Oh, those eyelashes. Oh, so what are we going to do? Ooh. Ooh, so get your man in line. Get your dog in line. Yeah, we don't want it canceled, so what are you going to do? The crowd pulling panda. So I'm trying to be nice. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Interesting. Oh. He's like, I want to see what you can do. So are they going to make him sit on the sidelines? Ooh, you're trying to smooze here. I mean, he is the same sign as Ryusei. Oh. Uh-huh. So what are you going to do with Ryusei then? Oh, thanks. I have so much to say about this already. Like, fat chance of me shaking your hand, dude. Oh. 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 So what are you going to do about Ryusei? Oh my god. Oh, no big deal. Just in 24 hours. Oh my god. Okay. How you gonna keep a muzzle on Ryusei? How you gonna keep him out of the game? The big stage. How you gonna do that? I love that opening scene. This giant tax hole. Oh my god, all the blue energy. Ego. Everything's so calm. Yeah. Everybody's so... Oh, hey, Bachara. I like they showed Raichi getting up, even though he's not part of the 11. Aww. Aw, Nagi. I'm just gonna play his video game instead. What got his attention? Well, that'll do. Oh, Rayo, sweetheart. Gotta make sure they aren't smudged. That's for damn sure. Nico, look at you making plays. Look at you being a strategist. Oh, Zentetsu and him getting along. Nice. Aww. Oh my god. I was like, Chigiri is like the 31 products meme for sure. Toki, sweetheart. I was gonna say, oh, of course it's Baro. Oh, Tobito. Interesting. All by your lonesome? Right. So, oh, wow, putting the three of them front and center. What's that? Never heard of him. Oh, Diamond Generation, huh? Oh. I'm glad he changed his hair to dark blue. It looks better than the green. For sure. Get my runs in. Look at them pansies. Oh. Look at little baby Oliver. Oh. Oh, wow. Interesting. Prune too close. His voice is so deep. 19 my ass. Oh man, this feels like a documentary. Ego's like putting this together for like his like approval to get more money. He's like, just look at how intense everybody's working. Look at the productivity. Look at all what. I'm glad they went through the trouble of animating that. Oh, hi, Reen. Look at him. He does not look zen. He looks the farthest from zen. Oh, it's a dinosaur. Oh, that was what was in the opening episode. Uh-huh. Oh. Oh, wow. And would they get, or were those just the old toys, not the, interesting. We're gonna go back to that. Not Zen. Meanwhile. Are they just gonna wheel Ryusei in a straitjacket? Oh my. Spared no expense. We didn't know it was here! Yeah! Like, the fudge? Oh my god, them taking pictures next to all the cardboard cutouts? Wow. Oh, this is first game in a shirt like that. They have a mascot? What? When'd you have time to do all this, Ego? The security the jackets. Oh my god, and then buying Psy. What? Well, I mean, Japan, you would have brought those in. No. I'll just take the Blue Lock soccer ball. Everyone's ignoring Ego. Amazing. Amazing. Even though he's trying to, like, based on my arbitrary and biased decision making. Oh my god, this is great. No one's listening to Ego. Oh my god. But that kid listened. Oh my god. This stadium's crazy. Whose parents are these? Are these Isagi's? Yeah, they're Isagi's parents. Oh wow. He really is a mix of both of them. Huh. Wow, he really is. Wow, he's a mixture of both of them. Oh. Who is this? Oh. Who are these people? I guess they don't matter. Oh, wow, he is his parents, true and through. Huh. Man. Ego, you made this look real good. Oh my god, Ditto Bokuno! I can't! And there's a Super Saiyan. Of course there is. Wow, they really, at least they're making both sides look cool. Wow. Oh my god. Hi, Isagi. 14 minutes. Oh man. Aw. Yeah. I can't believe we're already getting into this. It's crazy. Oh, Nagi, you're such an optimist. In blue? Hi, sir. Oh. Okay, the sub members. Oh, we're going to go back to that. So, okay. Well, you wouldn't be here otherwise. Uh-huh. Oh. Yeah, good job, Hiyori. Forget about it. Don't worry about it. He's probably waiting in the wings. It's fine. I like the diamond generation and diamonds in the rough. I love the the two opposing sides to that. Okay. Oh my god. Reen is like, he looks so good there. Don't jinx this. Don't jinx this. Sure. Aww. Freaking Isagi, what a cutie. We're only halfway through the episode, though. He's so creepy. So creepy. Oh my god, yeah. Oh, I love the goalie outfit, though. What's Sindo up against the wall? All by his lonesome. Does that one have a feather in his hair? Oh. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Oh my god. I'm like, Reen, how do you deal with your fact that your brother's a psychopath? Glamticipation! He's in a different colored uniform. Of course he is. Aww. Ah! Oh, these two. Oh. He's like, hi, handsome. Okay. You seem very nice and well-adjusted for this group. These two don't. Wow, Reen is actually bigger than Sai, which I'm surprised by. He's like more muscular and like bigger than him. And taller, which is very interesting. Huh. I'm wondering if these matchups are similar. Hi, dude. They just have, like, Ryusei muzzled off screen. Are they gonna, like, wheel him out on a stretcher if they need to? That'd be amazing. I'd lose my mind. Something happens and they just have to, like, break him out of a box. You know he ain't gonna sit out this whole game. You know that. Yeah, get that gleam in your eye. Why did we have this CGI feet moment? Okay. Yeah. Oh, hi, Atsudo. Oh. Like, commentators and everything. The Itoshi Sai. Oh my. 451. Interesting. Yeah. I like that Ego's speech was short and sweet, and he was like, sure. Yeah. Yeah, he looks so much different from back then. Yeah. He's grown so much. Exactly. I love this. This is a good transition episode. Yes! I love the heart being blue. With the green flame. Yeah! Yeah! All right. Oh! 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 Yes, please! Yes, please! Yes, please! Give me all of them! Oh my god. Headband-san looks like he hasn't slept in ages. Is he related to Ego? Uh-huh. Look at Henri. This is not gonna be... This is gonna be a challenging match, I am sure. Okay. Right. And Nagi, Rina Nagi. This feels so familiar. Uh-huh. I like this play-by-play breakdown. I like that Togi's paying attention too. Right. Okay. I like Tobito doesn't question it. He's just like, sure. Okay. Nitro formation. Oh my god, it feels like Crash Bandicoot. This is why Ryusei had to go. He would not have adhered to any of this. He would have just been like, whatever. Right. Yeah, that's always how it goes, isn't it? Oh, monster. Oh, yeah. Batra is pretty much a monster. Haru. Kiddo, y'all are within like 3 years of each other. Uh-huh. All right, sweetheart. Oh. Oh, he even has like the Yu-Gi-Oh eyeliner as well. No. Ah! Yeah, there we go, sweetheart. I love you, partner. Oh! 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 Batra, you sweetheart. I love it. Shut up, shipping. I'm here for all of it. But is Sendo or something gonna get in the middle? Oh. Ooh. Ooh. And he's a cobra. Ooh. Oh, okay. Oh. All right, Aiku. I love the rattlesnake. No, he was in the zone. Yeah. He was in the zone. He was flowing with it. Oh. Oh, I love it. I love it. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Hi, how you doing? Oh. To the police. Oh! Oh, hello, sir! Oh, excuse me! I will threaten the law if it means you're gonna come on duty, sir. Well, at least it went out of bounds, so now we know what we're dealing with. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, okay! Oh! Oh! Is he now? Oh! Oh, are you sure about that? How did I go from shipping Isagi between 3 different people in the course of one episode? Can you all explain that to me? Oh my god! This is not an anime about soccer. It is, but it also isn't. We also finally get to see the ED now. Right? We get to see the ED now, which is fun. Oh, Nico and Shigiri. And Batra and Hiyori. That's a cool pairing. I like that. Don't be getting too much into Rin space. Getting all angsty. Aru and Reo. Nice. These 4 together are interesting. Yeah, I could see why y'all didn't want me to watch this ED yet, because since it's literally covering this episode. Aw, and we get our two white-haired characters together. Yes. He's got the white uniform on. Bitch, you know he's gonna be in on this game. You know he is. It's just gonna be a matter of when. He's gonna claw his way onto that court. Don't you? I know he will. Aw. Oh my god. The Bokuno, I can't. Yeah! Such a tourist thing to do. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Okay. He is like a fox. Yeah. I can see that. Is he a chipmunk? Oh, no, a lemur. Oh, a hamster. Well, yeah, sure. A sleep-deprived raccoon. Yes. Oh, uh-huh. Yeah. Ah! Oh, hey, Reen. Come to spoil our fun again. What is Psy in the middle? Water flea shit! Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. A mosquito? Aww. Aww. Oh my god. Ah! Oh my god. Let's squeeze the life out of Atoshi Sai. Let's not play this game anymore. I freaking love it. Okay, I do want to go here and see the episode for the end of the Nagi episode. I found a clip on YouTube, so we're going to check it out real quick. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. remember how the streaming service released the movie on its streaming service and didn't tell anybody? So I went and found the movie on Crunchyroll, and so now I have it queued up. So I don't know why I was trying to find it on YouTube. Ridiculous. But anyway, we're going to look at that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's watch the end credit scenes of this, shall we? I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, what? Oh, wow. On their own. Ooh. Oh, we're going to talk about this. Wow, that would have been such a spoiler. Okay. 50 days later. Wow, yeah. Wow, yeah. Oh my god. This would have been such a spoiler. I'm glad you guys didn't have me watch this. Oh. I gotta make out with my boyfriend first, but I'll meet you out there. Oh. Rhea with his coat. The gloves. Speaking of the devil. Oh, just you wait. Oh. Oh, he's like, we're gonna fight together. Just you wait. Shut up. Shut up. Oh. Yeah. Wow. And then there's everybody. God, this would have been such a spoiler. Oh. Oh, Rayo. Not beating the allegations. Oh. Oh. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. All right. All right. Oh, okay. I love it. That was so good. All right. Was that the only after credits I was able to watch now, or was there something else with them? Or was it the one I'd already seen? I think I've already seen this one. Haven't I? Yeah, I've already seen that one. Oh my God. Well, we're going to go back to that and talk about it. Don't you worry. But here we are. Ooh, friends. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take a shot of blue Kool-Aid every time there's a shippable moment. Which I don't have enough blue Kool-Aid, I think, to last me this one bottle, but we're going to take a little sip every time there's a major shippable moment, right? Because otherwise I just need to get the whole case out and we'll be good. But all right. So you know what? For this being a setup episode, episode 6, for this being a setup episode for the episodes to come, this is pretty good. This is definitely establishing some questions that I have about what's going to happen, and I'm sure the series is going to give us answers. So that's pretty exciting. I'm glad I can watch the ED now. Yay. I'm sure it'll be a little while before I can watch the OP, but that's fine. I know I'll see it by the end of the season, so it'll be good. And I'm glad I can finally see that ending scene with Nagi and them. I'm so glad y'all didn't let me watch that in the movie, because I remember seeing some comments for the movie that were like, it's no big deal. I'm like, no big deal. It just gives away like half the plot twists of the last 3 episodes. What? So yeah, anyway. So let's just break this down from the get-go. But I do want to go back to what Ego was talking about in his speech to them at the end. And I want to kind of put this, I'm going to try to get my mic where it can pick me up talking, over here, that the idea of a genius, that a genius is only if someone notices their brilliance. If nobody notices or nobody picks up on it, then a lot of times that genius can go unchecked. I will give a stark example of that. And there are some Ace of the Diamond spoilers in what I'm about to say. So if you don't want Ace of the Diamond spoilers, when I raise my hand like this again, I will stop talking about Ace of the Diamond. But I would argue, from my personal standpoint, that Sawamura is kind of a prodigy in a way. And that sounds like you're like, well, wait a minute. I thought like Mei was the prodigy and Sawamura is like the hardworking protagonist. And he is. Sawamura is a hardworking protagonist. And Ace of the Diamond, he's one of my favorites because he's so hardworking and he keeps persevering despite everything that's thrown at him. But I talked about in the discussions with that series that by the time we get into the manga and at the end of Act 2, which I'm excited the anime is going to continue, that Sawamura starts to exhibit some behaviors like in his pitching style and how he thinks up pitches that I'm like, that's not really hard work. You have to be smart and recognize that. And Miyuki and some of the other players kind of start to recognize it in the manga. And it's like, oh, so to me, that's kind of that embodiment of being identified. And that's where the Tensai comes out. So end of Ace of the Diamond spoilers. But I think it's important because so far we've had a couple people identified as geniuses, right? For Nagi, we have Reo identifying him as a genius. For Sai, you have Sai being identified by Oliver as being a genius. And for Oliver, kind of, you have Isagi kind of identifying him in a way, right? But you could also, I mean, Rina's talented, right? But I feel like Isagi at the very end of this episode is kind of like, oh, Oliver was able to do this, 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 and this. That kind of makes him a genius. So, and then you have the idea of Isagi even, and I don't know if I would describe Isagi as a genius or not. We've kind of played around with that concept last season, and it's kind of, people are divided on what they think about it, but I like the idea that to be identified as a genius, someone else has to recognize your brilliance, and that works on a lot of levels, and Blue Lock does some really cool things with that. So I like the Ego points it out. So then of course I love Reo and his coat. Reo's coat's real fun, but it's like the crossroads of fate for Blue Lock. I was like, I love that that's how it's described. 50 days after the events of the second selection, is insane to me. Like 2 months later, crazy talk. And of course, Reo gives him the gloves that I'm assuming were his. Like, can we just, that last scene there, just boyfriend material right there and then, right? Between Nagi and Reo. And then Nagi is just excited to be there on the court. So that is that. But then we have the opening scene here between Oliver and Isagi. Or not, between Oliver and Sai, sorry. And again, he calls him little genius, little Tensai, meaning that he recognizes Sai's brilliance. Whenever it says got a minute to talk, I instantly think of Attack on Titan, which is a lot of fun. But I like that Sai's like, no. Sai is as blunt as Reed, but he's maybe even more sadistic. He's like, no, you look well adjusted, get out. He's like, make it quick. Sai's like, I only do things quick, so gone. So he says, okay, fine. And he basically says that our star player, Sendo, our red-haired fox, by the way, and your violent +1 got into another fight. Your violent +1. Shout out to the entire U20 knowing that Sai and Ryusei are a possible ship. Props to that. So they're like, basically this, your +1 that you brought to this wedding is starting a brawl with everyone. So can you get that under control? And he's like, they just can't get along. And that's been Ryusei's like problem the whole time. And I like that Sai's like, I don't care. He's like, I like that Sai's solution is just get rid of Sendo. He's like, just get rid of Sendo and then Ryusei can just have fun. We're fine. We're great. And Oliver's like, no, I like that Oliver stands his ground and he kind of scratches his head like, no, see, he may be garbage to you, but he's our star player. So is there possible Oliver and Sendo shipping? Possibly. So he's like, no, he's our star player. We can't just kick him off. And plus, you know, your guy's the one that's getting in a fight with him. And so then he says, you know, we're not getting rid of our star player just because your +1 is weird. He says a lot of our players are saying that if Sendo's left out, they're not going to play. And they're basically going to do a mutiny and boycott the entire match. And of course, Sai is maybe passive aggressive in describing how excited he is about something. But Sai wanted to play this game. He just wanted it on his terms. And so he's not going to say like, oh, then we just won't play. You're right. He wants this to go down. And Oliver's like, so if everybody boycotts, are you not going to get Ryusei under control? And Sai's like, well, are you threatening me? Is this a threat? And he's like, no. He's like, I don't think anybody wants the match to be canceled. We just, you know, you're the crowd pulling panda. We're trying to be nice. I feel like he's saying, you know, you're the one bringing the crowds here. You're the one that wants this. We're trying to be nice and tell you right now, get your boyfriend another muzzle on and take him out back and leave him outside while we're having Thanksgiving dinner, or we might have some problems. I'm like, oh my God. Do I think for 2 seconds that Ryusei is sitting this whole game out? Absolutely not. No, something is going to happen. Something's going to happen with the team, right? With the U20s. I don't know what it's going to be. We'll talk about like the player positions and the possibilities, but one of those players is going to either get injured or something's going to happen. Like they'll get sick or something. They'll have some bad prawns the night before. They're not going to be able to play. And Ryusei, I swear to you all, if he like bursts into the stadium with a straitjacket on and like crawls his way to the field, I will scream. I will die. But I feel like something's going to happen and Sai's going to be like, oh, so are we going to bring Ryusei in? Or if no one gets injured or is sick, then what could happen is that Isagi and them find a way to turn the game around and they're doing well. And so Sai is like, hey, about that one guy you told me wasn't as good as Sendo, you want to go get him and bring him out here and try to do that? I'm just saying, I feel like Ryusei's going to play. Somehow. He's going to play. You can't tell me he's going to sit this whole game out. No. I'm also surprised because this is only episode 6. And what do we got? Like, I do know when I was planning my season out that there's 14 episodes this season. I do know that. I do know there's 14 episodes, or at least that's the count I got when I started, because I wanted to know so I could plan my calendar out. And so I know there's 14 episodes. I am like, we're gonna have 8 more episodes after this. Could the match last 8 episodes? I think it could. If you had like an Oliver flashback episode, if you had like a Sai and Reen flashback episode, which I'm sure is going to happen, I could feel this game lasting 8 more episodes. We just showed up at the stadium. It could definitely happen. So we'll just have to see where it goes. But he's like, you're the one that brought them all here, so we're trying to be nice. We're trying to let you, do it your way. And he's like, well, then what do we want? And he's like, let us win without Ryusei. He's pretty firm. Oliver's very much like, this is it. He's like, well, it should be easy for a genius like you, right? And Sai's like, oh, cool, you're sucking up to me, but is that the consensus of the team? Or I feel like Sai is okay with it as long as it's the team that wants Ryusei to step back, but if it were the managers, he's like, I don't give an F about them and I don't respect them. So did they put you up to it? And Oliver's like, well, and this part here where he does the smolder, and Oliver's amazing at the smolder. Oliver is amazing at the smolder. He has it down. He has it on lock. He could be a model when all of this is over. It's possible. So if you have also Sai and Oliver down as a ship, there you go too. Because again, Sai is a Libra. Oliver is also a Cancer like Ryusei. So the dynamic still works. And Oliver is a Cancer and Sendo is a Libra. So that dynamic works. It's like a quad. We have a square, a love square between these 2 Cancers and 2 Libras. It could go any direction you want. You choose, right? And are Libras compatible with Libras? You could get Sai and Sendo if you wanted, although Sai seems to have no interest in Sendo whatsoever. Still, it could work. He's like, it's my selfish side wanting to know what you can bring to the table. He's like, I want to see your brilliance. And then I like this. I like he does the smolder and looks over at him. And Sai's like, neat. And the remaining 1% is my job as a captain. Sai's like, you're not exactly. He's like, well, I don't like money grabbing adults. And Sai's like, well, you're a self-serving captain, but whatever. Interesting idea. Fine, I'll take the bait. I feel like, I don't know if Oliver is Sai's cup of tea. Sai seems a bit more sadistic than that, but I think he's on board with it. He's like, fine, whatever. And he's like, well, you're more amiable than I thought. And he just walks past the hand. He's like, no, don't get me wrong. Yep, I'm the one testing you. If you can't keep up, I'm out. And Oliver's like, okay. I love Oliver. I love Aiku so much. I don't think Oliver is sadistic and terrifying enough. I mean, he's terrifying in this episode, don't get me wrong. I don't know if he can handle what Sai is throwing down. I don't know. But if you ship them, if you ship any in that love square as we go into this intro, I don't blame you. I think that that's fully understandable, to be honest. So yeah, the morning of the game and everything, how the townsfolk didn't notice this giant ass stadium in the middle of the woods. Now they know. It does feel like a great epicenter. Like, Ego could rent out this soccer stadium for a lot of things. And he's just got all of his Blue Lock energy drinks and ramen just sitting there as he's gearing everything up. Ego's like, today's the day. It's like the starfish from Finding Nemo. Today's the day. Like, that's how I picture Henri when she gets up. We don't get to see that, though. So I was curious with the ones that everybody was getting ready for the day of the match. And I was like, okay, are we going to find out who the reserves are? Because everybody's getting ready like they already know. I don't know if there's a manga difference there, or if they cut something out, but Igarashi's like, I made it. And I'm like, well, you showed up. Did you think you weren't going to make it? But I like Isagi just taking a deep breath and being like, today's the day. I love Bachira getting ready and slapping his face. It's very appropriate from him. Nagi wakes up and instantly wants to play a video game. But when he looks over, I feel like he's looking over to Reo being there, or he's looking into the shower where Reo is getting ready at. Good shippable moment. I'll take that. So yeah, it shows him getting ready. Then we have, what's it say? Glamour eyewear. Aryu, you are missing out. Aryu is missing out. He needs to be, if he's trying to recruit to the glam squad, get Kinyu. Kinyu is a model, apparently. Get him on board. Get him in the glam squad. I would ship Ryu and Kinyu for sure. Get them on there. He seems to be like, what I like about Kinyu is that he seems very much like everything is meticulous, and he's very much a Taurus. He's like, everything has its place. Everything's meticulous. I'm all in order with. Also, he's got, now him like speaking up to ego and stuff kind of makes sense. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Speak your mind. I'm also really amazed that Nico is such a strategist. I did not think of Nico like he does all the gameplay books and has like different colored Post-its, different colored pins. He's so meticulous as well. And I would not have pictured Nico being that hands-on, but I feel like Nico kind of has to compensate a little bit because he doesn't have the long legs like Ryu does and the speed advantage. He doesn't necessarily maybe have, Nico to me strikes me as someone that, again, we talk about this concept of a genius being recognized. I feel like you could argue in two cases with Nico that one, he's a hard worker and he strategizes and does, to me, it's kind of like if you look at Haikyuu and Oikawa, a lot of people will say that Oikawa is a prodigy. And I'm like, no, he's kind of the antithesis of that. His whole thing is he works really hard and is good, but his strength comes from his hard work. And that's kind of where Nico is, right? But he is able to bring so much to the table in terms of how much he's practiced and rehearsed and knows these strategies that it makes him seem like a genius, but it's not all just like, he has to work hard, right? It doesn't just come to him. Like with Nagi, it just comes to him, whether he practices or not. Now, if he practices, it gets so much better. But with Nico, he's really had to work hard to get where he's at. But I love that for him. Nico's so cute. I'm glad he's at that point. That's awesome. Also, we get Zentetsu with, what's his face? With Hiragi. They're like having a meal together, which is really cool. I like that. We have Hiyori and Nanase, of course, and their discussions. And then, of course, Raichi with Gin and Igarashi. I like how Gin kind of mimics Igarashi's like praying for his meal, and Raichi's just like, no. So they've had 2 weeks to train. The meme where it's the 31-in-1 body wash and then the 31 hair care products. Chigiri is the 31 hair care products. Like all of the skincare routine. Like he would be an influencer trying to sell like 20,000 products, right? Meanwhile, like Nagi's doing the 31-in-1. And like, we've trained with this strong sense of purpose. I love that Togi doesn't know how to handle Aryu's glam. It almost looks like Aryu is like a peacock trying to like get Ada's attention. And Ada's just like, what do you want from me? So good. So good. But yeah, ridiculous. And Ada's like, I just don't understand the glam. Then you have Barrow, who is just getting like Hugh Grant, like not Hugh Grant, getting Hugh Jackman jacked up, right? Like, Barrow, my dude, you are just getting so outrageous. Y'all are young and your limbs can handle it. I love it. So then we have the we should get laser focused for this challenge that would light a fire in our lives. So we have Chigiri and Bachara, we have Aryu and Nico, and then Karasu there. Okay. And Tobito is looking at the formation. I like that he's studying up on everything. I think it's interesting that Tobito is by himself. He's not really, a lot of them are doing a lot of these routines by themselves to gear up, which is kind of cool. It kind of reinforces the idea of they all are fighting individually, even if they are on a team. So them all getting ready individually, that makes a lot of sense. I like that. He's like, so then we have our everyday lives. The idea of they have the billboard with Sai and Sindo and Oliver there, and Oliver's like running by as they're talking about it. The Diamond Generation. It is not lost on me that you have your Diamond Generation and the Diamonds in the Rough. So you have your Diamond Generation that's been promoted by the league. They're like the ones handpicked. They're the best of the best. And then you have Isagi and them who are kind of like clawing their way up from the pebbles and from the mountains to be recognized as diamonds. I like that. And so I like that Oliver's also like running and getting himself ready, right? So then as he's getting himself ready, I wanted to go to that scene where he's sitting on the bench, and there's the two types of pansies, which is interesting. I don't know if there's any significance to the pansies, if what they represent. I want to look up what pansies represent real quick, because we don't usually see them a lot in anime. I was like, what do pansies mean? I liked pansies because they're usually pretty hardy. Like my mother grew a lot of them growing up because they it says the pansy flower represents the thoughts of lovers shared before a word is spoken. Named for the French word thought, pensée, the pansy was said to be a charmed flower possessing telepathic magic. Well, what else do they say about the pansies and flower meanings? Flower meanings. It says it means loving thoughts, love and idleness, to think, free thinkers, remembrance, considering, or the birth flower of February. So could I see Oliver as a romantic? Absolutely. He seems like he could be a romantic, but he's looking at this article here, and then we see that we have like all the press conference photos, and we have Henri there. It says, here's what Blue Lock is all about. Is Blue Lock the missing piece to make Japan's dream of winning the World Cup a reality? I could see where the U20 would be kind of mad at Blue Lock because it is suggesting by ego standard that they're not doing their job right and that they're not doing things properly and they're failing. And I'm sure they don't think that. But then it shows them like, says, what is Blue Lock? The Blue Lock Japan team, Blue Lock dropouts. Oh my God. Blue Lock high schoolers, Blue Lock certified students, Blue Lock strikers. And it says 300 students. And then there's Oliver looking at it and we see him as a kid. Now, Oliver as a kid, pretty muscular kid, right? And he just wanted to play soccer the way that he wanted to. But the coaches were like, you have to follow our roles. You have to use that exceptional physique and focus on a hold-up play for the team. So Oliver seems like he's always been relegated to a certain role as a defender because of his bulkiness, because of his body type. And he's not been able to play soccer like he wants. So I feel, in my opinion from this episode, like him and Isagi actually have a lot in common. Like him and Isagi both like want to be the best strikers that they can be. And I feel like Oliver would have thrived in Blue Lock, being able to play the type of play that he wants. And Ego said from the beginning that the whole point of soccer is to make the goals, and they're all strikers from the start. They just slowly factor out into different positions. So I feel like Oliver would have been totally on board with what it's about. And that shot of the little sprig that's cut before it can grow seems so emblematic of Oliver feeling like he's stuck in this one position, and he's really good at it, but that's all he can do. Whereas you could also say that the green sprout is Isagi, who's being able to grow, right? I feel like that works. And he says, all right. And then looking at the flowers, and he says, Blue Lock, huh? I feel like he would be fine if they lost, but he's curious to see what they'll be about. Did the series have to animate them getting everything ready for Blue Lock? No, they didn't. Is it funny to see it animated? Yes, it is. And then them getting the stadium in, all of the materials, everything, just wild. Ego, what did you do? I don't want to know. I feel like the JFU did spend a lot of money for this match as well. So they weren't out all the expenses for all the merch and everything and the stuff set up, but still. The security guards and the jacket, the other gear, like it's a lot of commercialism, right? It's a lot of merch. Then we go to Reen. Reen meditating is the least zen person I've ever seen meditating. He does not seem zen at all. Although he is taller and more bulkier than his brother, which I feel like it could be one of those things where Reen, in his mind, pictures Sai to be stronger and maybe more athletically toned than he remembers correctly. So when he sees him in person, he's like, oh, I'm taller than you. I'm more toned than you. Oh, it might be different. But as you know, from any sports, muscle does not equal talent, right? So we have this flashback with Reen, right? I am fully convinced that we are going to have like a whole episode devoted to Reen and Sai. I feel like we are. Also, the thing that fell in episode 1 that I had to like pause frame was that Godzilla looking dinosaur. It looked like a demon. It was that dinosaur. That was it. And so he has the image of like the Power Ranger like type figurine fighting, or Kamen Rider or whatever, fighting the dinosaur that's missing an arm, and they break each other. And that's when Sai's like, do you want to come with me? Sai has always had terrible hair. Sai's parents didn't know what to do with the scissors. They were just like, I don't know. Like, Reen was blessed with beautiful hair. They both have the same bottom lashes and the same eyes, but they also remind me a lot of, in Free Iwatobi Swim Club, there are two brothers named Ikuya and Natsu. Natsu and Sai are not the same at all. At all. They kind of look similar, but they are not the same. No. But Reen and Ikuya have a lot of visual similarities, and they also have a lot of similarities as well in terms of their characters. So I kind of like where that goes. But yeah. So there's I'm like, do we view Reen as a psychopath because he destroyed the toys on the floor? No, I'm just joking. But he does go out and watch Sai play soccer and be really good at the soccer game and then walk home with him. And I'm sure we don't get to see any dialogue in this scene, but my guess is Reen was like, I want to play soccer too, since, I want to play soccer with you. And then the next thing we see is Reen holding up the trophy, and Sai has his arm around Reen, which kind of looks a little creepy. So I don't know if Sai let him hold the trophy or if Reen was talented enough to win the trophy, and Sai was like, well, shit, my little brother's better than me. And so Sai was like, I've got to put a complex on him now. I don't have any choice. I've got to do it for my own sake. Maybe. So yeah. Anyway, and then we see, what's interesting is when we go back to the toys on the ground, they're not broken. They're put back together again. So I'm going to be curious to see what this metaphor and what this flashback gets reinterpreted as we go. But I'm super intrigued and excited to see more of Sai and Reen. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. So yeah, anyway, he turns off the timer and is like, okay, let's do this. Meanwhile, Sai is just there with his, just waiting to wake up and get there. All of the merchandise and marketing. There are stands where people are taking photos. Everyone has matching jackets, and they have all of the different jerseys on. Everybody has the coats. There's it says it's a certain victory. Everybody's got little Blue Lock bags. Some of them are getting Blue Lock soccer balls, which is fun. Ego even had a Blue Lock mascot made. Granted, it's the creepiest thing alive. I don't like mascots. I'm easily scared by mascots because you don't know who's inside of them. You don't know. And so I'd be terrified. I like this one kid that's just standing there looking at the mascot like, WTF? But it's like a bear. Sure, it's a bear. Then they have the 8-bit cafe with the hot dogs, which is fun. I love all the food trucks. I would go to this. This sounds amazing. I'd eat this up. But yeah, and then there's the girls with the pictures next to the cutouts. And they're like, okay, end of the line entrance. I love it. They're all getting ready to go. What if they hired the people that got kicked out of Blue Lock to work the event? That'd suck. And yeah, giving out the jerseys of all them. There's all the U20 merchandising, right? But then this one kid gets the blue. There's also a bulldog mascot, including with the bear. So what was the reasoning behind that, Ego? What? I want explanations as to the Blue Lock merch. I need. Is it a bear? Nobody knows what the mascot for Blue Lock is. And then the kid does have the Blue Lock soccer ball, which is fun. Also, Ego's trying to give his speech about his philosophy on this whole thing, and nobody gives a shit. Everybody just wants to watch the game. They're like, who's this four-eyed guy talking? But the kid recognizes it. The kid hears the speech. He's wooed by Ego's words. He'll join Willy Wonka and his crazy chocolate factory here. Okay, can we talk about Isagi's parents? How he's a perfect blend of them? He has his mom's round face and features and his mom's hair, but the color of her hair and the color of his eyes are his dad's. He is a perfect blend. Also, they got 64-ounce beers. His parents are getting tanked at this soccer game. His parents are that is a big ass beer that he's carrying down, one for each of them. They are going to be buzzed as shit at the end of this game. They are sparing no expense. I love it. But yeah, of course, everybody around them is talking about how the U20 is going to win. All these suits and everything. And then these people that are up in like the VIP lounge with their champagne. Like, of course, all the snooty people are talking about how U20 is going to win. And the parents are like, don't diss our son like that. Like, bless them. They're so sweet. Asagi's parents are the most wholesome, and I love them to pieces. They don't realize they've got a cannibalistic son. They can't help that. So yeah, I love all the character designs of the crowd. I think it's great. So, okay, we get everybody here on ye board. So we have the U20 team. I'll break them down. Obviously, we have Aiku. We have Oliver, who is the captain, right in the back there. Then we have Jin, or we have Gin. Gin is Jin, I guess, is the goalie. Of course, we have Gin the goalie and Jin the goalie. Why wouldn't we? So we've got him. He seems super serious. Whenever Gin was like, it's my first time being a goalie, he's like, are you freaking kidding me? Then we have Darai. Darai is the one they said looked like the doll. He seems pretty serious, right? He seems pretty serious. As does Kazuma. Kazuma feels like the very manly, masculine machismo alternative to Aryu's glam. And I'm here for it. He's very macho. Then we have, Teppei, Naru Teppei. He is Bokudo. He is a Ditto turned into a Bokudo. He has a creepy voice. No. Teppei is Ditto Bokudo, and I will not accept any other descriptions. Then we have Sendo. Sendo is a fox, which I love the fox description. It fits him perfectly. I love it. Then we have Kento. Kento, his name is Chao Kento. I don't know if he's supposed to be Chinese, because Chao, isn't that a Chinese name? He kind of looks like he could be related to Ushijima. So he is super serious as well. They all look serious. Poor Itsuki. Itsuki, in keeping up with the tradition of other Itsukis from other sports anime, looks like he hasn't slept in years. Itsuki is the raccoon. He needs sleep. I feel like he could be interesting. He has like the freckles. I feel like he's also related to Ego. They have the same eyes. Are they cousins? Who knows? Then we have Teru, who looks like a lemur. He also kind of looks like, what was the one guy with the tiger hair? He kind of reminds me of Indoji from there. So he got like the tiger lemur. That, he seems like a fun time. He also kind of reminds me of the one character in Kuroko's Basketball that has like the cat theme to him. He's in like the final boss team. Seems like that. And his name is escaping me right now. And then Haru is our Super Saiyan. Yep. Oh, Hayate. Maybe his name is Hayate in Kuroko's Basketball. Anyway, so they're our team, and everybody's excited about Sai, the Diamond Generation under 20. And they're like, everybody, oh, the one girl's shouting for Aiku. Girl, same. I feel that. And so then Isagi's like, all right, it's time to go. We got 15 minutes. Let's do this. I like that Bachira's like, look at our cool jerseys. This is great. And then he's like, you know, at last we're going to be together. There was a lot of good Bachira and Isagi moments, so cheers to that. Then we see Plusle in the background talking with Igarashi. And Chigiri's like, we're finally playing them. I'm just so excited to see these guys all play together, because we've had the entire last season and half of this season watching them play in small little groups against each other, which is fine, don't get me wrong. But I've been waiting to see them face each other as a group. Or to see them work as a group, which is what I'm really excited about. And then Ego shows up, damn blue suit, looking fine. I'm like, good for you. Good for you. So, okay, here's our bench. We're going to note this bench here. So, Toki made the bench, as predicted. I'm going to mark off my little form here. Baro made the bench. And then Zentetsu made the bench. So there we go there. Poor 18 hair and leak hair out. Nanase made the bench. Along with Hiyori. Yay. And then we also had, let me see on here, Ishikari, so the tall one. We did talk about him being there, so he made the bench too. And then Raichi made the bench. and Reo. So glad Reo made it. And then Baro, Toki, Zentetsu. Hiragi is the one. I didn't think he was going to make it. I'm super surprised. The one that has the double ones, but he's super tall. So him and let me get on here. Ishikari, they're both really tall, so maybe that's why, just in case if they're needed. Corona surprised me too. I didn't think that Plusle was gonna make it. We haven't seen him do anything, but him and Reo were on the same team from back whenever, so I guess Hiyori's Minen and Corona's Plusle, but they made it with Reo. Maybe there'll be interactions between Reo and Corona. I don't know. And then Igarashi made it, despite everything. And then there was Kiora. Kiora was the one that was getting blocked during the the prep talk, and he was on the same team as Baro and Zentetsu and them. I didn't think he was going to make it either. So he was the one that has the scraggle hair. So the ones that didn't make it. So the ones that are out, we need to note that. The ones that are no longer with us, they've not made the top 23. Number 18, the one that looked like Android 18, Himiza, RIP. Yuzu, which is the leak hair, RIP. Taiga, which was Raichi 2.0, bye. Indoji, which was the tiger hair, bye. Haiji, which was the paper mache hair guy, bye. Then Sara Madara, there was no way. But there. Then the one guy that I was surprised about, Nishioka. Nishioka, the one that was injured, that everybody was like, oh, he's the next Masai and all this. He's not here. He's not the sub branch. So he didn't make it. So that was pointless. We had all this build up and then he didn't make it. He's kicked out. The one twin, Wakima or Wakishima, he's out. Bob Ross, Tanaka, Shiguma, he was in the background eating with all of them. He's not with them. And then Sokura. So, as far as we know, they're out. But I'm kind of surprised, especially with Wanama, the brother, the twin. I'm surprised that they didn't make the bench, that we're not seeing them, leave. So, I don't know if they're going to show us that next episode when we start seeing, the 11 of them walk away or whatever. Because how many was out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, the 11 that got kicked out. I don't know if we're going to start next episode seeing them walk away, or if it's not a permanent thing that they're going to be gone after this match. I don't know. I'm at least surprised with Wanama, since we did focus a little bit on him, that we're not seeing him walk away off screen. But I don't know. And they're like, we can use 3 subs. 3 subs of the 12. So who do I think at this point is going to sub in? Well, I think of our subs that we're going to use 3. I'm going to say Baro, because I'm going to say my dream team of being used as subs would be Baro, and then I would say Reo, and then if I had to pick a third one, I would probably... I really want to use Hiyori because I like Hiyori a lot, but I don't know. I kind of also want to see what Corona can do, but I would say Corona or Hiyori. Or maybe Nanase. I think Hiyori of the 3 of them, of the 3 here, I think Hiyori has the most potential because he can read things really well, and he's worked with Tobito and Isagi and Rin in them before. But I definitely think, if anything, Baro and Reo could be subbed in. I think. I really want to see Reo work. But with Blue Lock, you never know. With Blue Lock, it could be any of them. So, I don't know. It showed, when they said we can use 3 subs, it immediately went to a section of Raichi, Hiyori, and Toki. So I'm like, if we get Raichi, Hiyori, and Toki subbed in, I'm fine with that. I just want to see what they're going to do. Also, Raichi looks so mature there in that one shot, so that's good. And they're get ready to jump in at any moment. And then Igarashi's like, I made it. So then their team lineup is, of course, Sendo is their main forward, and Atoshi Sai is right in there in the center. Then so basically, if we look at this, yeah, Darai and Tepe are their versions of Aryu and Nico. And then Batra and Chigiri, I'm pretty sure Oliver and, Nico and Aryu are Kazuma and Oliver. Darai and Tepe are Chigiri and Batra. If Tepe and Batra go up against one another, I won't be surprised. And then you have Haru and the others. Okay. Which makes sense. So Atoshi Sai's there in the center. Okay. Which is probably, I think Sai, would that make Sai and Tobito kind of in the same role? So yeah, so they say that Ryusei is not playing, and they're like, probably because he doesn't get along with anybody, and he goes like, I didn't say it, but... Now, you can't tell me that he's not going to show up. He's going to show up. It's just a matter of how and when, right? I feel like it's going to happen. But anyway, I like Ego's speech. It's short and sweet. He's like, the world doesn't know you, but in 90 minutes they're gonna. So just go out and you got this. I'm like, I like it. Short and sweet and to the point, right? So yeah, and then as they're going out, then they see the moment that we see like the Ditto Bokuto like pointing at them, creepy as F. I'm sorry. And then Kazuma looks very fierce. I like his fierce glance. Nice. So Isagi's like, oh, okay. I like that Rin just immediately goes up to the front. He like, Sai doesn't even turn around. And Rin's just like, let me get up there. Just you wait. And then he's like, hey, what's up? Like the most like climactic, like stare down. And Sai's like, oh, hey, what's up? And then Isagi is standing behind Rin, directly behind Rin, standing behind him being like, so this is my future brother-in-law. Okay. But then it's like, you have like Toshi, Sai, and then Oliver's behind him. And then you have Rin with Isagi behind him. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And then Batra's behind them both. Like, don't forget about me. There was moments of Isagi and Batra shipping, which is coming up. And then I'm saving the rest of this for what you know of. That will come in this too. I'm just like, this is insane. And I like Tobito and Ada are like, you ready to film this? And like, yes. And Kinyu's like, this is great. I do like Gin. Gin is so sweet. He's like, I'm a goalie too. But yeah. So Oliver, let it be known. Oliver initiates the conversation, being like, hey, Ryusu was your former teammate, right? And Isagi's like, yeah, we're glad he's not here. He's like, oh, he's not going to get to play today. Oliver is also a lot bigger than Isagi. He's like broader and like a head taller. The dad height difference, y'all. Dad height difference. And he's like, we're going to stop you from scoring. So good luck, Blue Lock. And he gives him a wink. And Asagi's like, I'm not used to flirting like this. I'm not used to normal flirting. He's like, I'm used to maniacs surrounding me. He's like, sure. And then Batra's like, classic flirting. I see how it is. But yeah, these two. Sai looks a lot frailer than Rin does in comparison. And I know that that's deceptive. I'm sure Sai is going to be just fine as a soccer player. But it is kind of crazy how Rin has bulked up. And I feel like maybe Rin has a false memory of how Sai actually is. So yeah. And then like Japan cheering them on and like screaming their names. It's such a feeling, like all the energy and all the excitement. And in that moment, I feel like Isagi's like, this is what it would be like when I compete on the world stage. This is going to be it. Like, it's just, you can just feel and see the wonder and the gleam in his eyes. It's so good. Why their feet are CGI? I don't know. I don't think there's a reason for that. But yeah, they get the game started. There's these two commentators. One is Atsudo, who looks like a former soccer player. He also looks 23. And then the other guy, Natsuki, looks like every old man commentator you've seen in every sports show, right? So we have everybody in the center. So basically, there's only one OMF compared to Isagi and Nagi here. And then the central forward is Rin versus Sendo, which is fun. And then you have a DMF. There's 2 DMFs, which are Raccoon Man and Super Saiyan versus our 1 Tobito. And then we show like all the different other guys there. So interesting. Yeah, the formation's a little bit different. Okay. So yeah, I love it. I love our game gets started. I love that we come full circle. Isagi looks like he's grown so much compared to the very first part of the season, which I love when you compare the animation of when they first started to now, and you see they've bulked up and it's been very subtle. I like that. I think that's really a lot of fun. But yeah, so, and I love that moment where he's kind of wondering, he's like, how can I play in front of this huge crowd? And then he says, don't worry about them. He's like, don't worry, ignore those people. You don't care what they think. He's like, concentrate on yourself. And I'm like, yeah, I love it. I love it. And he gets the fire stoked. And then, do it really quick. Reen giving him a pat on the back saying, so half-baked. I love it. He's like, what are you scared of, idiot? I'm like, oh, hi, shipping. How did you get here? For Reen to say that to Isagi is like the craziest thing ever. And then Isagi's like, I'm just really stoked. I'm like, ah! I'm like, it's just so good. I'm like, the shipping is there. I was like, when has Reen been flirty? Never, except now. I'm like, so yeah, everybody's all set to go. Where's Ryusei? Ryusei is back in the wings. There he is. He's back in the wings, in the seats, ready to go. He's just sitting there, standing in the background. How dare you? Yeah, he's sitting there in the back waiting. Don't think he's not coming out. Yeah, don't think he's not. Yeah, and then I love Henri sitting there with her little clipboard. And of course, yeah, Reen and Isagi side by side. Shut the frick up. And then let's do this, Isagi. But I mean, like, that shipping moment was amazing and great and all of that. But then you have, like, the moment and Ego gives them the pep talk of, like, how they're going to go through everything and what they're going to do. And then they get into this nitro formation. Ego's got this all planned out. And like I said in the reaction, I don't think Ryusei would have been Leroy Jenkins to all of this. He would have done whatever he wanted and not listened to a word. You can't convince me otherwise. He is too much of a loose cannon. But then Bachara, where he's just like, oh, he's like, Isagi calls him a monster, and he's like, oh, there's only one person I can just pass to. And he's like, the perfect play, the one perfectly linked for my play. I knew it'd be you, Isagi. I was like, oh my God, what is this shipping too? I had thought I had lost hope in the Bachara and Isagi ship, but it's right there in front of me. It's right there in front of me. It's so good. And everything was going real well until Oliver showed up as this giant mother trucking snake. This giant snake. And I'm here for the snake motif with him. I would not have expected a snake motif, but I'm here for it. And him like coiled around Isagi, and he's like completely in the zone. Like he's just centered out. Like his eyes, he is not even paying attention. And he knocks the ball out of bounds. And he's like, the position, my speed, where the ball was going to drop. He'd have to have seen all of it and moved in a second to cover. And he's like, his field of vision, his brain, his physique. Go on, Isagi. What kind of specs does he have? And he's like, this is the Captain Oliver Aiku. Yeah, and then Oliver's just like, oh, you know something, Blue Lock number 11? And Isagi's like, who, me? He's like, people compare strikers to thieves and defenders to the police. And I'm like, is this going to get mildly sexual real quick? And the answer is yes. He's like, while I'm on patrol, you won't be stealing any goals, little burglar. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, like, is he stealing the ball from you? I don't know if that metaphor exactly works, but if you're going to be a policeman, sir, consider me a thief. All right. If you're going to be a police officer, sir, consider me a law-abiding citizen. And so Isagi's like, okay, Mr. Policeman, our big move was stamped out and seen through. That's fine. I like that nobody seems perturbed by it. They're just like, all right, that seems fair. We're facing the top 20 in Japan. Sure. Everybody's like, okay. They're on a whole other level. And I love that Isagi just can't let it go. He's like, oh, well. He's like, I found him. This is the challenge, the person I want to challenge, the one who's going to break down the walls and help me find my flow. I'm like, oh my God, Isagi just powering through these guys left and right. I'm like, am I now shipping Oliver and Isagi? Maybe. Possibly. We think. I'm like, shut the frick up. And yeah, Isagi's just like, oh, well, just try and catch me, Mr. Policeman. I'm like, what is this? Is this soccer anymore? Is it? Are you sure? I definitely think that the thumbnail has to be of Oliver. It has to be one of those shots of Oliver. It just has to be, but come and catch me. Okay, Sherlock and Moriarty. All right. Isagi is just, he's spoiled for choice. Isagi could have Baro, he could have Bachara, he could have Reen, he could have Nagi. Well, Nagi's with Rayo, but he could. He could have Oliver. I'm like, pick your choice. What are you doing? I'm so excited. I'm really excited to see what happens with this group. I think that this match is going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a long-ass match because we just started. And it's a defensive team against these guys, so it's going to be... Maybe that's why Ryusei doesn't jive well with them either, because they're a cohesive defensive unit and Ryusei is not defensive at all. So maybe that's why as well that he's not jiving, but we'll just have to see, Mr. Policeman. But anyway, I'm super excited to hear your comments down below. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back very soon with more Blue Lock. Bye.